Yeah, okay, time to live free. Plenty goals I'm achieving. Some real life topics and talking financial freedom. Mindset, soul and love, everything in between. This is Freedom Podcast. Tune in, live free. Hey, got my mindset right and I got the drive. Planning one day, no more job, no more 9 to 5. Love, money, mind. Love, money, mind. This is freedom. Tune in, cause it's going down. Woo!
Hi, this is Anna, and welcome to another episode of Your Freedom Podcast. In this episode, I interview Candice Hall. Candice is the owner of No Excuses Fitness. She offers a great environment to keep yourself accountable, challenge yourself, have fun, and get results. She's an inspiring coach, really into health and fitness, and you're going to love this interview. Okay, so we have Candice in the house, so good to meet you, Candice.
Nice to meet you as well, Anna.
And I love the name of your business with the No Excuses Fitness, because I think all of us have made excuses as regards to fitness. And I'm sat here now thinking, because I have a virtual personal trainer actually,
Okay,
which I often used to think, how is this going to work when I first started with it? But I've got to do my 10,000 steps today, and I think I'm only on about 3,000. So thinking about No Excuses Fitness, I'm thinking, well, it's 8 p.m. here in the UK and it's cold outside. Can I really do some more steps? But what I've said to myself is making sure that I'm going up and down the stairs. If it does get too dark for me to go on a walk on my own, then I need to carry on the steps around my house, and there's no excuse. So I love the name.
Thank you.
So tell me and tell everybody that's listening and watching us on YouTube, how did this all begin? Because I know just before we clicked record, we were talking about it isn't just fitness that you focus on on the whole person.
Yes.
So yeah, tell us how it all began.
So I'll go back to the name a little bit of why I decided on the name first. Kind of to your point, Anna, we have excuses for everything. But what I've noticed as I gotten older is that we always make time for what we really want to do. Those are just excuses. So No Excuses is spelled K-N-O-W because all of us know our excuses. We know when we think it, we know when we say it, it's an excuse. So the motto here is acknowledge your excuses, acknowledge them for what they are, and then get rid of them. Because if health and your wellness is something that's important to you, you have to make it a priority. Not just for your kids, your future grandkids, your family, your loved ones. It's for you as well. And you need to make yourself a priority. So we have a motto that says, leave your excuses at the door. So when you come in, I don't care what kind of day you had, you're leaving it at the door, and we're going to have a good time and focus on you. This is your time. This is your me time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of put that out there first to kind of set the stage on our
because
environment.
It's that commitment, isn't it? It's that commitment to do something, isn't it? And what is the discipline, isn't it?
Yes.
It's the discipline to be doing that, doing what you want to do, where you want to get to as a goal, whatever it is.
Yes.
On a daily, consistent way. Because like you say, whether it's fitness or your health and well-being, or even if you're starting a business, I think sometimes I've had this discussion with other online coaches around courses and programs, that sometimes people feel that when they purchase a course that they've done the work, when actually that's just the start, that's just like the first part to it, isn't it? You've got to actually get something done. So I think it's that discipline and commitment when it's to do with your health and fitness. And I know I'm going through that at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why I encourage my clients to think of their why. And it can't be because, I'm going on a cruise in 2 weeks, so I got to fit in my swimsuit. It has to be something deeper. Like, why are you doing this? Do you have some health issues going on? You want to get off some type of medication? Or are you looking just to have more energy? You want to sleep better? You want to feel better? Maybe you're just down right now and you want to feel better. So it's all about being deeper than just the superficial, the surface level.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that's where that discipline comes in, because when you don't feel like it and those excuses pop up, that's when you kind of think about, okay, why am I doing this? Okay, let me get my butt in gear. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love that. So how did it all begin then? Have you always been into health and fitness?
So I have always been active. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Um, I was, I played sports in high school, played basketball, ran track. I was a cheerleader. So I was very active,
Mm.
and kind of small and muscular. So I took that for granted. Of course, when you're young, you can eat
Yeah,
whatever you
you
want to eat.
do.
You can.
I see that with my son now. He's 15. He's been in the gym a couple of weeks. It's like his body's like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, God, that would take months if you were in your 40s. Do you know what I mean? But when you're younger, it's just like you can eat what you want. And
Yes.
you're like,
You can eat what you want. You go to the gym. You're looking good. So, and that's just because our metabolism is
yeah, I was going to
like,
say, it must be the
yeah,
metabolism. Yeah.
yeah. So that I've always had interest in staying active. I went to the military right after high school, and
Mhm.
that's when I realized I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
It wasn't by choice because in the military they pretty much
Discipline.
force you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the discipline comes in too. But they had it's doing lots of different exercises. And I remember when I got back, I was like, wow, I thought I was in good shape. I'm in the best shape of my life. Um, and also, I didn't realize it, but back then I was in the best shape of my life, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. And I'll go back to that, but I didn't realize it at that time.
Yeah.
Um, so I got pregnant with my daughter, um, and I gained about 70 to 75 pounds, which I didn't think was a big thing because I'm like, okay, once I have her, I'm gonna go right back to my small frame.
Yeah.
But once I had my daughter, I could not lose the weight, and I think a lot of it has to do with while I was pregnant, I found out my mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer
Yeah.
when I was 6 months pregnant. So I was going through an emotional roller coaster at
Yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
So then she passed away like 3 months before I had my daughter.
Oh,
So, after I had her, I was kind of mourning my mother and then also trying to celebrate the birth of my daughter and knowing that this is a human being that's depending on me for everything. I can't fall apart.
yeah.
Um, so it
That
was
must have
like
been
more,
that must have been really difficult because I think when you're pregnant and after you've given birth, you're emotional anyway. You know that your hormones are all over the place anyway,
yes,
and
all
so
over the
having
place
it's it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's like the end of a life and the beginning of a life at the same time.
at the same
You
time.
see people that are like the
Yes,
closest people, you know.
yes.
Yeah,
And I see so much of my mother in my daughter. Is crazy. Um, so when you said that statement, because I say that all the time to my daughter, I was like, your grandmother, you have so many similarities. So it made the transition of losing her so much easier having you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not easy at all losing someone you love, but at least I had something else to focus on.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Children are good at doing that, aren't they?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I think because, especially when they're younger, and it's
yes,
like, and I think also as mothers, we're like, we want to nurture and all that kind of stuff, and we
yeah,
want them to be proud of us and be that leader and role model and everything like that. So we've got to like be brave, and we've got to, you know,
yeah.
yeah, it's
You gotta
crazy
put on
how
that
we,
face.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm sure it like for men as well, it's the same. Like
yeah,
as in they put on that, they've got to be probably even more so where they've got to be
more.
strong. Yeah,
Absolutely,
their
because they're
children.
they're raised to be that man. Don't
Yeah,
show any emotion. You're the strong one. Um,
yeah,
so so that led me to I kind of slipped into a depression.
yeah,
Um, I think I have to, thank my sister and my mother's sister, my aunt. I call her Amy. But I have to thank them because they were kind of there to support me. Having my first child with no my
yeah,
mother not being there, they kind of stepped in to kind of help me. But I knew that I had been trying my best to try to lose the weight, but I knew I wasn't really trying because didn't have the motivation. I was depressed at that point.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, you know what? I was in the best shape of my life when I was in the military. So I'm going to start doing stuff I did in the
Mm.
military. So I just started working out. I started doing the same exercises we did. I started running. We used to run like 2 miles a day. We would do sit-ups. You know,
Mm.
that was our punishment. But yeah, in the
Yeah.
military, that's your punishment. But I knew, I was like, okay, it worked when I was in the military. Maybe it'll work now. And lo and behold, it did. I
Mm.
lost the weight. I not only lost the weight, but the cloud shifted from above my head. I
Yeah.
didn't feel so gloomy. I felt like I had energy. I was motivated to, tackle the day. Um, I was a better mom. I was a better wife. Um, it it was a whole like transition for me. And that's when I was like, okay, um, I like this. I like the
Yeah.
way I'm feeling right now. So let's keep this going. So then I was like, okay, well, I probably need to do more than just the military things that I'm doing on my own. So I joined a group fitness class with one of my mentors, Sadaka. That's her name. And I noticed there that there was such a great camaraderie amongst the people in the group fitness. They were feeding off each other's energy. I noticed that I worked out even harder in a group than I did on my own, because other people were motivating each other. And then I was like, I like this. I like this environment. I like,
Yeah.
doing this. And I went to my mentor now, and I said, I think I'm interested in becoming a group fitness instructor. She's like, okay, well, she took me under her wing. She let me like try a couple different classes. And what I noticed is just seeing someone come into the class, maybe, complaining about the kids, or, my husband didn't pick up his shirt off the floor, or, the traffic or whatever. But by the end of class, they're such on a high. They're smiling, they're having a good time. So they're leaving in a much better shape than when
Yeah.
they walked in. So that's when I realized, hey, this is more than just about losing weight. This is more than just about, fitting in your whatever size, whatever jeans, or looking good in your swimsuit. This is about your mental, emotional health as well
Yeah.
as your internal as well.
Mm.
Your heart health, making sure your organs, even longevity of your life. You want to be able to still be mobile as you get older, and exercise does
Yeah.
that as well. Um, so that's when I decided, okay, I'm gonna branch off and do this thing, and I did. I've been in business for about 9 years now. We do, focus on um, group fitness. I also do personal training, but I also make sure that everyone understands that it's not just about, I call it looking snatched, which means, nice small waistline. It's not about that. I really want you to think about and focus on other aspects of how this can improve your life. And
Yeah.
I see my clients saying, I could never do a burpee before. I'm so excited I can do a burpee, or I've never done a push-up. I can feel myself getting stronger. I don't see it in my clothes or my waistline, but I feel stronger. I'm sleeping better. Symptoms of menopause are less. There's
Mm.
so many different benefits that I want people to really focus on, than just the weight loss.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
the one for me is definitely the mental health.
Yeah. I think it can
Um,
really, and it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's sometimes like the chicken and the egg kind of, when you are feeling really down, you don't feel like doing any movement kind of thing. But there was
yes.
a girl that I spoke to, I think it was on this podcast, we were talking about movement, just general movement, not necessarily exercise, that can really help with your
Yeah.
mental well-being. And I know when I went through my sort of dark time, even just going out for a walk, or even if I was like, there was a moment in time where I just didn't want to go out because I didn't want to like face people, apart from just quickly do the
Yeah.
school and come home. But I think sometimes like just playing your favourite tune and just moving around.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing where they say
Yes.
dance like no one's watching type of thing.
Yes.
Even if you just like got out of the shower and just I don't know, just the movement thing, or just yeah. I think there is some science around it, isn't there?
Yeah.
Around
It's endorphins.
chemicals. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Moving
that
around the
happy
body.
hormone that you're producing, that makes you feel good. That's
Yeah,
exactly what it is. When you start moving, that's exactly what starts producing.
Yeah. And also, like you say, once you get on that, where you have got the discipline and you're getting into a regular thing and consistency, then if you have got weight to lose, then you start feeling better with that as well. That it kind of gets into a bit of a, what do you call it, like a positive. You can go into a negative circle, can't you? You can go into a positive circle. Do you know what I mean? It kind of, positivity breeds positivity. So if
Right.
you're moving around, you're feeling good, and then you're also starting to look better and everything like that, it breeds positivity. So
Yeah.
um,
Your self-esteem improves, your
yeah.
confidence improves. It's, yeah, like you said, it keeps getting better and better and better and better.
Because I often refer to my 3 pillars that I reference on this podcast, and they're basically the 3 things that have given me equilibrium, as I call it, in my life.
Okay.
Well, I kind of do. I suppose equilibrium is similar to balance, but balance is hard. Like, it's like sometimes I might have a work. Recently, I have actually, because I did an event in Spain and I had to get childcare for the boys, and then I came back and I was doing like a launch online, and it's like the last couple of weeks. Today felt like the first day that I could actually breathe a little bit, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm finding myself going on Facebook, just like having a mooch around. I haven't even had time for that over the last 8 weeks. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
replying to comments, but it's been a particularly big time, so a busy time. So sometimes it's like that, and then other times, the balance might be something different. It might be like, oh, the kids have got a load of things going on. So I think a lot of it is about awareness, isn't it? You can never get like this perfect balance of spending
Right.
time on yourself and all that kind of stuff. But my 3 pillars are freedom in love, which is really about self-care and self-love, and
Yes.
the health part, and everything you're talking about comes into that. Because when I wasn't looking after myself and I was just like, being a single mom, helping the boy, doing this, doing that, and then sort of neglecting myself,
Yeah.
it goes back to that whole thing of, filling your own cup up first and looking after you.
Yes.
And then the other pillar is freedom in money, because it's not about having 7 figures in 6 weeks, but it's about making sure that you haven't got money stresses, because that
Mhm.
does, the seesaw balance. I have had that where it's been, this constant sick feeling and worry about, getting to the end of the month and paying the
Yes.
bills. Like,
Yes.
so money gives us the freedom to be able to do what we want to do and, feel good. And then mind is the last one, freedom in mind, which really, mind, I always say this on every single episode, mind, the word mind doesn't really do it justice for me, but love, money, mind went really well together.
Okay.
But mind really is just about this whole thing around self-development and, looking at the positive in things. But sometimes, sometimes we can't be positive, and that's fine. You might have a really crap day, but it's just knowing that tomorrow is going to be different.
Yes. Yes.
It's not just
Not
about
staying in that.
ignoring it. Because I was doing that for a while, where I was like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. When actually I wasn't. I was like waking up having
Mhm.
these like hot sweat nightmares. So
Mhm.
it's important to allow ourselves. I
Yes.
allowed myself to just get upset, let the energy out, and just know that actually today I feel rubbish, but actually tomorrow I'm gonna, get through this. And we, like with what happened with you, your mum, bless her soul, we don't know the future. And I've got parents, I
Right.
know that, we don't live for eternity. So there's going to be things in the future. It could be anything that happens. And yes, I might not be positive at the time when it happened. I'll allow myself to go through whatever that is. But
Right.
I just know
Right.
that I can get through most things, or
Yes.
I don't want to say everything, because you feel like
Yes.
you're concentrating on something, but just having the toolbox to be able to get through stuff, I think, is important, and allowing yourself. So that's a
Yeah.
long explanation to mind. But I'm sure you can relate. I know you were nodding to all those, so I'm sure you can relate to all of those,
Yes.
that kind of help, like you say, help us as a whole, as a holistic, really. Because I say to my children, you don't want to ever really get obsessed with one thing. Everything is good to have, like, try a little bit of this and try a little bit of that. Because if something takes dominance, whether it's food, alcohol, even like, you could be an athlete and you're just obsessed with, that can be like a positive obsession, can't it?
Yeah, because that can cause injury. It could cause
Exactly.
injury because you're overworking your body.
Yeah. And also, there's other work that, being obsessed with work, just making sure that we have different, and I know I've had moments of time where I'm obsessed with work, where I'm staying up late and I'm just like,
Yeah.
So determined to get stuff done and this and the other. It's just like allowing ourselves to have that time and have that break. And a lot of it is also being aware.
Yeah. And it goes back to what you said, having that balance.
Yeah.
We're all gonna have something we're obsessed with it for a
Mm.
short period of time. Maybe you
Yeah.
really got to get something done, so you're obsessed with work
Yeah.
to meet that deadline. But you also have to make sure that you got planned a vacation coming up or something, so
Yeah.
that way you can clear your mind and relax as well. So it's about balance.
Yeah, definitely. So for people who are listening to this, who maybe, do you help people globally? Obviously you do stuff in Ohio
Yes.
with exercise classes. Have you got any online things that you do that you can provide people with?
Yes, I do. I do virtual classes.
Okay,
My
fab.
YouTube channel, I also have a YouTube channel, but I need to update it. So I'm
Yeah.
guilty for that.
We all
And
have that. I've got that with my website at the moment. I'm like, oh my God, I need to update that.
but yeah, I do have virtual classes. And yeah, we reach outside of the United States. I know one of my clients was in Australia actually. So it's all about the time zone and timing. So
Yeah.
I'm working on getting an on-demand classes where you can kind of pick and choose what classes at your convenience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what's next.
And so for people who are listening to this are thinking, hey, this Candice lady sounds super cool. I'd like to know more and know how to kind of reach out to her. And are there particular socials that you hang out on more? Or how can they find out more about you?
I'm on all of, well, not all of them. I'm on Facebook.
Too
I'm
many
on
these days.
TikTok. There's so many I can't keep up with. I just heard there's Thread. There's a
There's
new,
Clapper as well. Are you on Clapper? Because
no,
a lot of the US folks moved to Clapper when there was all the drama with TikTok. TikTok was going to get banned and everything.
right. Yes.
And so a lot
Yes.
of people moved to Clapper, but yeah, there's too
Yeah.
many of these things now. Isn't there? So you on
Yeah.
TikTok? Are
I'm
you
on
on
TikTok. I'm
Facebook?
on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
Um, those are the primary social media
yeah.
avenues that I'm on.
And so your website is, no, I'm looking behind your head, just to remind me, even though I know it, noexcusesfitness.com,
Yes.
to reach out to you
Yes.
and see how you can help support their journey, really, in
Absolutely.
their overall sort of happiness about feeling good, looking good, and everything.
Yes.
Is
And
there
eating good.
anything? Is there anything? If somebody was listening to this, who was maybe not feeling too good about how they look, maybe they were feeling a little bit overweight, they're feeling depressed or down about other things going on in life, and they just can't seem to start and motivate themselves to do anything fitness wise, what would you advise them to do? On like, what would be the first step to do?
So the one thing that I would advise them to do is forget the word fitness, because that's intimidating.
Yeah.
I would just tell them, because we have to take baby steps, and sometimes our
Mm.
wording and our self-talk can discourage us. So I would tell them to switch that fitness word to activity, some type of activity. So
Yeah.
something that you like to do, like you mentioned putting music on and dancing. You like to
Mm.
dance? Dance
Mm.
like no one's watching for at least 10
Yeah.
minutes a day. Those little things that you would do is fitness. But take away that word and something that just do something that you enjoy, that's active. If you like to garden, go outside in your garden. Go
Yeah.
outside and be, that is movement, that's activity. You're moving your body, you're getting those endorphins pumping. So that's what I would encourage them to do, is just take that fitness word away, because people hear fitness or exercise and they immediately clam up and get overwhelmed and intimidated. And that's not the point of it. The point of it is for you to just keep your body moving.
Moving. Yeah, no, I really like that. It's so true, isn't it? Because I have this thing where I just hate the gym. I'm just like, I hate everybody looking good in the lycra, and I'm there like just not, it's all very ego driven, and this.
Yeah.
Well, I've probably also got this thing that it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got this pre mind thing about
Yes.
it.
Yes. Yes.
Like you say, I probably feel intimidated by it a lot of the time.
Yes. That's what it is. It's the intimidation, and that's a lot of the reason why a lot of people don't go to gyms for
Yeah,
that reason that you said. They walk in, they're like, "Oh, I feel like I don't belong here," or "This
yeah,
is just
yeah,
too much." Um, so that's why I offer virtual training as well, because
yeah.
sometimes people are just not there yet.
Exactly,
So, and
exactly.
that's fine. I will meet you where you are. I'm just giving you kudos for even starting, taking that first step,
Yeah,
knowing that, hey, I need
absolutely.
I need to do something. So
And I think that's what people need is someone like you that they can sort of feel like they can be themselves and trust there's no going to be like prejudgment or anything like that. Whereas I think there is that feeling sometimes. There's always like the gym bodies and you know what I mean? Like there's
yeah,
all cliquey groups of everyone
yeah,
looking
yeah,
all the same.
yeah. And I tell people, so you see that gym body, just know that they probably, 9 times out of 10, they weren't always that
Yeah,
in shape. They
exactly.
worked for it, right?
Mm.
So you're seeing the end result. You didn't see all the hard work or their before picture. You don't know where they came from. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in, what we see right in front of us. We don't take into account that, hey, this person has a story too. And
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
their story. So, but I'm just assuming that, oh gosh, this person has probably looked like this all their
Exactly.
lives. They don't have to do anything.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, no, cheers for that. I think that's really important for people to hear. And it is, I think, if you are sat there thinking, "Oh, I haven't really done much for a while," then it is just, get moving and do. It can even be like cleaning all your whole house from top to
Yes.
bottom.
Yes. It can be
Like you
going
don't want to
outside to
sink
play
it
with your
all.
kids.
Yeah,
Go, like, if
exactly.
you have sons, go outside and play some basketball with them. Go outside, throw the ball with them.
Yeah,
Take a walk with your kids. I mean,
exactly.
there's so many things that you can do that are under the fitness and exercise
Mm,
umbrella, but we won't call it
you won't call it that. Exactly.
that.
So I always ask everybody a one question. Obviously it's the Freedom Podcast, and when I put this podcast together, like when you say the word freedom, it reminds me of people like Grant Cardone, who's like freedom in 90 days. And I was like, I don't know if it's got the right connotation, but I just kept coming back to this word freedom. I think because I am a domestic abuse survivor, it's like I really wanted to, like, I think when you go through a difficult time, you feel like you've got this freedom of the mind or the freedom of
Yeah.
the life. So I kept coming back to it. I thought, I'm going to stick with freedom. And I think it is interesting. I think if someone asked me what does freedom mean to me like 10 years ago, it probably would have been different than it is
Yeah.
now. And it keeps evolving and changing
Yes.
as we get older and we become wiser.
Yes.
So, Candice, what does freedom mean to you?
Same as you, Anna. If you had asked me that about 15 years ago, I would talk about money, 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 money.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and I realize, it's more about wealth
Mm,
than the actual money. I would say that freedom to me is finding your true passion. And then
yeah.
once you find that passion, being able to do it every day, then you're
Yeah.
free. You're
Really
free.
well. Really
Um,
well.
you look forward to waking up every day, even when you have bad days. And even, we get so busy with our hectic, just running
Mm,
errands, kids, that sometimes we don't feel free. We feel caged. We feel like, oh gosh, I don't have any time. But if you find your passion, no matter what it is, and you put aside, if it's painting, if it's reading books, if it's writing, if it's working out, whatever it is, as long as you put aside some time every day or as much as possible to do that, that's your freedom.
yeah, absolutely.
That's your
Yeah,
freedom.
yeah. No, it is, isn't it? Because it's what also brings you happiness or
Yes.
contentment in life. Yeah. So,
Yeah. It helps with
yeah,
that mental, emotional. It definitely helps with the whole
yeah,
person.
all of it.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Really good. I love asking this question because everybody always says something different, and it just also makes me start thinking. It's been great to connect with you. So anyone listening to this, go and check out Candice. There's no excuses. Remember, no excuses for this. Go and check out her website and go and connect with her on the socials. It's been fun getting to know you a bit more. And let's stay in touch. If there's any way I can help you in any way, just let me know. But it's been great having you.
Same here, Anna. Thank you for having me. You're a great interviewer. So thank you. This was very enjoyable.
Brilliant. Thanks ever so much.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Your Freedom Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and subscribe on my YouTube channel. And if you want to get more freedom in your life, then come and join Your Freedom Project Facebook group, which the link is below in the comments section. And I am giving you a copy of my visualization manifesting book. So manifest more freedom in your life and live the life of your dreams.
Hey, thank you for listening. Hope you had a blast. Here to elevate your life. It's the Freedom Podcast. Love, money, mind. Love, money, mind. Wanna see you all win. Wanna see you all shine. Just make sure that you subscribe. Bringing good vibes. Join the Facebook group. Now it's time to change your life. Hope you come back. Right now is the chance. This is an experience. It's the Freedom Podcast.